Oh, California sky, so wide and free. The coast unfolds its mystery.
What's up, everybody? Today I want to try something a little bit different. I'm not going to be telling a story about my past. I wanted to talk about the now, the present. And it's a present, because I'm thankful every morning I wake up. Because every morning I wake up, I'm given a day to live, another day to live. And that's kind of what the topic is, because I just lost a friend, somebody I grew up with. James Watts. People that don't know, Manzi, and that was his childhood, that was his nickname. And everybody called him Manzi. I didn't even I knew his government name, but I never called him by that, And we go back to elementary school, running around in the streets, little kids. And he was a little bit older than me, but he was half white, half black. His mother was white, his father was black. So he got picked on a lot growing up, So I kind of, we kind of had that in common. But he was J-Rock, and I was Lil J-Rock. He was my big homie. As we were growing up, as most people, when you go through things, sometimes you get to a point in a relationship, whatever it is, where you guys just take different paths. And me and Manzi took different paths a long time ago. But we started the journey together, and it wasn't only him, it was other people. And that's, the other people too, And that's the thing, almost everybody's gone. Almost everybody that I grew up, that I am saying, is sad. It's sad. I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm happy I'm still here. But I'm sad that I lost, I lost somebody. And these is people that were a part of my path, that were a part of me coming up, a part of me growing up, a part of me going through the things I went through to get to where I am now. Because where I am now, to me, I personally believe that this is the best Joey there's ever been. And I'm not saying that to say anything. It's just I'm trying to be the best I can at everything I do. And that's how I live my life right now. And this is working. This is, since I've been, I do my part. And now I'm a part of a team, I'm married. So, my wife, she, she does her part, and she takes really good care of me. Really good. I'm blessed. I'm so thankful, because a lot of people don't know, that I'm, I go to church. I was raised in the church, and I've had a lot of people knew me when I didn't even believe there was a God. I had lost faith a long time ago, and something brought me back. So I'm back. I've been back for a long time, but I keep, like I say, I'm trying to be the best me I can be. That's by doing the best I can do at me. But that's it's not just about going to work and paying bills and taking care of my responsibilities. It's more than that. I have to take care of my well-being, my health. If I don't take care of myself, then I can't take care of the people under my care. Now that's important to me, because I take my jobs serious. Whatever that job is, I take it very seriously. So I've been working at being the best me I can be, and it works. It's working for me. That's the best thing I can tell you, that this really does work, because people that know, it's a lot of people that have heard of Snow Rock, and It's a lot of people that know and have met Snow Rock. It's some people that are not happy that they met. Like I said, what I'm saying, this is how I look at my okay, I've studied a few things, and one of the things was like I know a little bit about psychology because I took a class while I was incarcerated, right? So, but I don't know everything. I just, what I'm saying, barely scratched the surface. But to say that, I'm trying to say the I believe it's Sigmund Freud. His theory is there's three parts that make up each person. And if I'm not butchering this, I believe that's the id, the ego, and the superego. Now, I'm not going to, get real into detail, but the id, the ego, and the superego, each one is a part of you, but which one is in control? Because the way I see it is when I was a kid, I was white boy Joey. And that was who I was. I had that was me. And growing up, white boy Joey got, he went through some things because white boy Joey got picked on, got pushed around, got his shit took, had, went through a whole bunch of stuff. Uh, and he survived. And, but during that survival now, I believe it's a transition. And it was, it was a coming of age thing. So, when I came of age and white boy Joey, was no more, Snow Rock came. And Snow Rock came because white boy Joey was, white boy Joey I used to say was soft. Because he allowed a lot of stuff that Snow Rock, ain't allowing. And, violence was a part of life. Violence was a part of my life from, conception. Not conception. I'm sorry. Not conception. From when I was born, I think that there was a doctor that smacked me. That was the first, of many smacks. I've been smacked upside. But anyway, I've been, I've been raised in violence. And I don't embrace that side. I'm opposed to it. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And that's another thing that I've learned and I'm still learning. Like I say, Joey is a progress. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. So, some days that's easy, some days that hard, because I'm trying to do better. And I didn't used to try and do that. So it was a difficult thing. But it's a transition. And so White Boy Joey became Snow Rock. And Snow Rock had to step in because White Boy Joey was being, stepped all over. And so, Snow Rock came, but then Snow Rock didn't give a fuck, didn't care about nobody. Snow Rock didn't care about himself. And this is the truth. Snow Rock only cared about what he wanted. And that's all that mattered. And if, and now I'm watching the people that I grew up with, and, there's not many of us left. I was looking around trying to count, hey, to y'all that's still out there, man, salute. We still here. But that's the thing, we got to do better. We got to do better. Because, we didn't do a good job leading the generation below us. I did what I thought was right. And, looking back, a lot of the homies know, I tried. I try to do my best to lace the homies up. Homies that hit the yard with me, homies that, did time with your boy. They know. We losing our brothers. It's a sad day. James Watts, rest in peace.